What up? What up? Welcome to another episode of Get Hype AF Podcast. I am your host, Mad Whack Jackson, and thank you guys for all tuning in and dealing with my technical difficulties. Hopefully, you guys all found it. If you are here watching, which I can see a few of you are, please do me a favor and tag anyone that you see missing who wanted to show up. Share this out and all that good stuff. Today on the show, we have some awesome people, if you ask me. We have both the Codys from Sky Manor. So let's go ahead and bring them on stage. We have, if you don't know, we have Plex and Prometheus. Together they are Sky Manor. Hello, what's up, guys?
It's good.
What
I'm
up?
trying to share this out real quick, Jesse, so some people can get in here.
Sounds good. I'm gonna go ahead and tag you guys. Would you like me to tag Sky Manor page or your personal profile?
All of it. Go for gold. Why not?
All right.
Yeah, I'll let
So,
you tag it and then I'll share it out, Jesse.
to while we're kind of doing this up real fast, to anyone watching at any time, feel free to please drop any comments that you might have for our guests during the show. And again, we had some technical difficulties, so if you wouldn't mind helping us share it out and tag your friends, get them in here to watch, that would be awesome. And I think, all right, that should be all right. So you guys are at least tagged, and I will update all of that fancy info later. Let's get right into this show, you guys. First off, why don't you guys introduce who is who?
So I'm Plex Hero.
And I'm Prometheus. And together we are Sky Manor.
And what age are you guys, if you wouldn't mind answering? And both where you guys are from individually, where you're from originally, and where you are currently located.
Go ahead.
You go ahead.
All right. I'm 32 years old. Born in Sydney, Nebraska. Currently in Sydney, Nebraska, but lived in a few different places throughout my life. But came back home and been living here ever since. So
I am old balls. I'm 33, about to be 34. So I am also from Sydney, born and raised, traveled around a lot. Apologies for the voice in advance. I'm usually loud and wild, but that ISO show messed my voice up screaming. So I'm gonna be a little goofy voice this interview.
Hey, no, that's awesome. I'm actually really excited to get you guys fresh off that show. So before we get into that though, let's get a little bit more background. How long have individually first and then answer as a group, if you don't mind, to kind of keep it more streamlined? How long have you guys been doing music?
oh shit. Man, I started writing back when I was like 14, 15 years old. So I've been writing for 16 years. I started writing first before I actually started like rapping it for some reason. It was just kind of like poetry. And then I actually built my mom when I was real young. My mom helped me build a little studio in the basement and out of plywood and egg cartons and shit. And that's kind of where I started. And I had a couple buddies that started with me. I actually wrote my first rhymes, or actually recorded my first song, actually with a couple of my buddies. They don't do it no more, but I stuck with it. So yeah, about 15 years, 16 years.
You guys, I have to stop you because if I'm saying this correctly, I want you guys to know, and I have to stop and give a shout out because it looks like Chris Calico is watching this video. So what the fuck is
Callie,
up, Chris, if
baby?
that's you?
What up?
What up, Callie?
So sorry to interrupt you, but my wife just pointed that out in the live stream, and that's pretty incredible, you guys. That's a first on this show. So mad props. You got Chris on this watching your ass.
Let's
Hell
go.
yeah.
Let's go.
Big fan.
So yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Oh, you're good. So
Your studio in the basement.
Yeah, and then I started probably around 15, 16. I grew up with, I started out with like Linkin Park, listening to Mike Shinoda, and then found rap. And then I immediately went down before I found underground shit, which thank God I did. It's nice because I got a nice mixture of mainstream stuff too. So I stumbled upon like Lil Wayne and Gucci Mane and Waka Flocka and all those guys. And for some reason, they would always drop mixtapes. Like that was the thing back then. Like you had Lil Wayne coming out dropping all these crazy mixtapes. So I would hear people's beats and I'm like, I got to start making my own versions of this. So I also had another buddy that used to be part of Proplex back in the day, and we would go in my mom's basement and we would sit there and we would play beats and we'd write our own versions and sit there and rap them to each other and record them and send them out to our friends and stuff. And then yeah, so about the same age, probably 15-ish is when I started, and then started messing around more with actually formulating bars once I stumbled into underground rap and found tech and strange music and all them. And then the whole dynamic of what I was writing changed a ton.
So I don't know much about it, but I do know that before there was Sky Manor, there was another kind of group.
Yeah,
Was that
yeah. So we were in a group called Proplex back in the day, and we actually we started doing music once again, just like Sky Manor. We started taking off very quickly. We did a collab with Prozac. We worked with Swizz from Funk Volume. We did one with
The Joker.
the Joker when he was back doing music, and we just kind of took off pretty quickly. Once again, we started just killing it, and people were really vibing to the music. And we had a third member back then that was a vocalist. He could do rock vocals, he could do R&B, he could do whatever we needed him to sing. He would lay down hooks for us, and he would also rap. So we had kind of this trifecta, and we went by Proplex back in the day. And then we kind of stopped that. We both got jobs at corporate environments in Sydney, and um, they kind of didn't want it to become a conflict of interest with our work. Which thank God the current company we're with right now, they're very understanding about us being musicians and doing what we do. So we kind of had that happen, and then of course we started having kids. I got married and kind of just said I'm going to do the family thing. And then recently, last year, I got divorced, and I'm like, I've always had an itch for music. It'll never go away. I'd be with the family in the car and I'd hear a song and I'm like rapping to myself and freestyling. And I'm like, God, I want to murder this. Like I hear this beat and I want to hit it. Like, please, I need this. And then once I got divorced and stuff, I'm like, I started kind of spiraling pretty bad. And I immediately called myself back to what the cheapest form of therapy anyone can get. I mean, if you're a music head, you know what's up with it. Whether you write music or you listen to music, that's therapy. And rather than paying to go see someone, I decided I'm going to start doing music again. And I hit Plex up, and I'm like, yo, let's do this again.
so? I apologize if I had missed it. How long about a time gap was that between your Proplex and Sky Manor?
I think it
Kind
was
of.
we just calculated how long it's been since we hit a stage before we opened for ISO this weekend, and it was 12 years since we've hit a stage. And um, I think that last show was probably one of the last things we did. We did that last show and then did a couple more songs after that, and then we kind of hung it up.
Yep.
Oh, so at that at this point, I kind of just want to get some of your feedback on how that show was for you guys. Just kind of tell me a little bit about it. How was that? How
I'll
did you
let you
guys
go first
just
on that.
Yo,
relive that for us real fast?
yeah, it was crazy, getting back into it. Definitely had some jitters, but man, I took down a whiskey, and I knew our content was solid. Like we rehearsed. I always said, as long as you're well prepared, you can't lose. So we actually, working with our engineer, ended up getting our performance copies back and just kind of coordinating everything out. So we were completely prepared for this. Man, we went up there and absolutely annihilated the shit. And the feedback we got when we stepped off stage was like, yo, the energy changed when y'all got up there. And it was cool because we ended up selling the most tickets out of all the openers. So that moved our set up to the very last set before Strange's team came on. So it was just perfect because by the time we got up there, people were kind of warmed up, but just to hear the people, the crowd singing our songs, not only our choruses, but also the bars, the verses. It was crazy. Like, man, I've never felt that before, you know, because back in the day we did our shows. It was, you know, it was what it was. But yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, and it was cool because it actually inspired me so much that I just wrote a hook about it when we got on stage. I mean, it's you get up there, you start performing, you've kind of got the jitters, and you're feeling out the audience, you're watching, and then once you get comfortable, after you're about a minute in, minute 30 seconds, you can really start looking out into the crowd and seeing how people are reacting to your music. And the longer and longer we went, when we did our first song, you just start seeing people that are up at the bar or people throughout the establishment, heads just start turning and watching, and they start moving their way closer to the stage. And it's just like, okay, we're drawing them in, that we're doing our thing. And then as it just progressed through the show, I mean, yeah, well, you go back and you watch the live videos of our sets, and you hear literally people singing our verses, singing the hooks to our songs and stuff. And it's like, we only had a couple local people travel out there. There were people that I've never seen before that are sitting here singing Sky Manor hooks and our verses and rocking with us. And I'm like, I guess we're doing our job here. So it felt really good. It was hyphy, and everyone from ISO's camp. I mean, that was nuts. I want to give a huge shout out on this interview to Justin Strawstone.
Yes.
He serves as ISO's kind of tour manager, and he is the one that hit us up and said, "Yo, I want to get you guys on stage." It was a blessing. I mean, we've always fucked with ISO. I mean, he's from Nebraska. He kind of in our 308 cipher, I shouted him out as kind of paying homage to him for paving the way for us, because back in the day, rap wasn't as widely accepted in Nebraska. It's the land of, I guess we'll call it, corn and crows and a whole bunch of crap out here that people don't expect to hear rappers out here. So with ISO popping off like he did, if people hear you're a rapper from Nebraska, they're going to listen, because they're like, okay, ISO's out here doing his thing. Tabo's out here doing his thing. Like, there's some legit spitters out of Nebraska. So his team got on, and I mean, it was the way I describe this, and I'm sure Plex feels the same way. Initially, I went in as a fan for each artist, and I'm like, I'm never going to be one to fangirl over artists. I try to treat them as my peers. Like, I just don't do that. I go in there and treat them as someone that I will work with in the future. That's the way I view a lot of these people. And you start off, you kind of watch them, and you're hyped up, and you're fanning out a little bit, and you're vibing, and then immediately the businessman and the artist kicks in, the MC kicks in, and you're studying their stage presence and their performance and everything they're doing, their delivery, how their crowd control is, their breath, all that stuff as they're performing. And I will say that was next to going to tech shows, and Callie, if you're still in here watching Callie and Cut and all them back in the day doing their thing live, like, it's that breed of MCs that come out of Strange's camp, you can tell that they're taught to perform. They rehearse, they have choreographed segments within their songs and stuff where they're there to get the crowd riled up, and they do a great job of it. So it was great to watch that many just killer artists, as well as the other openers. The other openers did great at our concert, and it was a night of studying and fun. So it was cool to let that inner MC take over and just kind of soak all of that in and be like, this is how you do a fucking show.
That's incredible. I love that you literally just kind of described the entire process for yourself in in that situation, from being a fan all the way through to watching them on stage and having that like moment of, all right, well, now it's like kind of focus. You're having fun, but you're still at the same time, you're like soaking all of that in and learning. I love that you just described that entire process. But I want to go back and just kind of, did you have any idea, other than, I think you said like maybe 4 or 5 fans that you knew that were coming, that there would be people in the audience that actually knew your music? Because I know that you guys do put a lot of effort into promoting yourselves, and you do all of that yourself, I'd like to just point out.
Yeah.
And I was just curious if you had any idea that you have reached, or I guess had a fan base out there like that, or if it was a just complete genuine shock to you guys.
Well, I mean, so when we dropped the 308 cipher, it kind of went viral, especially in Nebraska. And if you look at our monthlies on Spotify and whatnot, we've been retaining, we hit a little over 3,000, which doesn't seem like a lot, but when you're just starting out like we are, it kind of translates to that, you know what I'm saying? So I definitely didn't expect that type of reaction and that type of following when we were out there, but I had an idea that there might be some people out there fucking with us, but
Yeah, and
yeah, that was
I'd say the 308 Cypher definitely did it. I mean, we do all of our marketing in house. We do all of our creative in house. Everything we do for Sky Manor, it's basically a 2-man group where we are business professionals that came from a corporate environment, so we know how to do marketing. We know how to run all of our own ads through social. We know how to basically handle everything that a record label would do for you. So that kind of benefits us hugely. But yeah, we were even after the show, we were chopping it up with ISO and talking to Tabo, and they brought up the 308 Cypher, and DJ Doc's like, of course I saw that. He's like, I'm a
Yes.
DJ. I saw that Cypher.
Yes, sir.
Shout
out to DJ Doc for real.
Yeah, and I will say DJ Doc, that is one of the illest fucking DJs I've ever seen at a set.
That motherfucker is crazy.
The way he hits their backs and gets their crowd hyped up. They even did this little segment where it was ISO, ISO, Tabo, and DJ Doc all got up, and ISO brought this little stage out, and they all three got out there on a part, and they put their hands in the middle and started going like that, and then broke it down and went back into the song, and I'm like, damn, bro, like DJ Doc just got in that bitch. So it was cool as hell. But I didn't expect that many people to be singing, honestly, especially the verses. Like, hooks are a different story. Like, you expect people to learn your hooks, and that's the catchy part of the song that it retains with. But there were people spitting bars out there. Like, there were people chopping with Plex, trying to chop his shit. There were people out there like singing and doing like on Girl Like You. Like, there's people out there just echoing our singing and rapping parts on it and stuff like that. And the reaction from people that we didn't know either, that met us at the concert before it happened, like they caught us outside or during the meet and greet portion. We were inside kicking it with everyone, getting to know everyone. And people came up and, of course, got to know us and stuff like that. And those people didn't know who we were. And once we got on stage, I specifically saw some of those individuals in the crowd. And as we're dropping bars and stuff, they're getting hypey, like screaming and being like, let's go, because they're fucking with our lyrics and our bars so heavily. I'm like, okay, I think we turned a couple people into believers at that show. So
that is awesome. So since you guys keep bringing it up, if Wi-Fi allows, I just want to state that I am going to actually try and play that 308 Cypher right now. So let's see if that'll work. Second here. Well,
shake. Giving me the burps, dog.
I was burping the shit.
Damn.
Oh shit.
You see that? It says that it's on the screen here. Well, that's kind of weird. So, clearly I can see that it's not playing, but on my screen over here, it tells me that it is.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so that's kind of really interesting. All right, so if at any point some random video pops on the screen and starts playing, it might be some weird delay, but unfortunately, it doesn't look like that's going to work for us right now.
Oh, that's all good. That's all good.
All good.
My next question would actually be, and I will give you guys the opportunity to opt out of this simply because you have already stated that you did a show last night and you are struggling, but I do usually ask if you would like to spit a freestyle or a verse from one of your songs, if you would like to do that.
You want to do it? I'll do one.
Do one.
Okay.
Do
it. Okay. Let's see if my voice holds up. So we've got this dope ass track coming out. I'll give some background on it, I guess, and let Plex talk about it. So we have basically Sky Manor, and within the manor there are going to be in the future different classes of fans where you work your way up to a gilded citizen. And if you're gilded by definition is kind of draped in gold or gold trimmed. So we actually have a branded song coming out on our album that's called Gilded, and it's got some crazy chanting shit that he did in the chorus that's like with some cinematics in the beginning where
it's like
and it's got all these sound effects and all that shit going on and all that, and that'll lead into there's some cinematics of kind of the manor door opening and stuff and us making our way into the manor, and you hear that in the distance, and then it just comes in and it almost sounds like a blacksmith just hitting on the fucking shit, and that's how we go in. So that this is a verse from our branded shit, so I'll try not to murder it here. Telling you guys who do not know about Manor, check these guys out, they're gonna blow up. Thanks, Gates.
Oh no, don't let this guy distract you. Rob, be quiet for a minute.
Okay,
let him focus, then you can chat him up.
My voice holds up, so it goes a little bit like Midas with the touch when I bless this bitch. Hell yeah, I'm gilded now. From rags to riches, I stack the digits, flip a nickel to a dime when she's in my mentions. Hell yeah, you know the drill. Look pretty on my arm, but you get no feelings. Sincerely, never yours. Take a hit, kick rocks, I'ma get to killing. Every single beat that I step on, try to come at the manor and you're dead wrong. Put your name in the verse on my next song. Your time has arrived, call it Death Note. No need for Ryuk in this bitch. When the bars start to hit, it's a cease and desist. See your cranium split as Prometheus. Grips on your head, grab my weapon and brandish the bitch. I'm an animal legend. It seems my verse atypical, mythical being. Light years beyond all my peers in the scene. Y'all wishing and praying I'm living that dream. You want swag with dripping in gold. You want hyphy with stealing the show. You want godly, I'm letting you know. Tell Zeus to take cover, I'm taking my throne. So it's a little something like that where it's kind of some in your face shit where it's like, we're Sky Manor. We're here to fucking stay, so get used to it type situation.
Yeah, and the hook comes in. It's like we're wielding weapons that were forged by the gods. You don't really want war. Check the lore. I'm the cause. I'm gilded. Yeah, I'm gilded. Sitting on my throne in the manor because I built it. That's why everything I touch turns to gold. I'm just breaking through the mold. I will never sell my soul. Like a knight in shining armor, I just shield it. I'm gilded, yeah, bitch, I'm gilded. You can see the gold in the sleeves. You can see the gold in the gauntlets. You really want to go to war with the team. We could put you in the morgue in the form of a coffin. Hear the metal bang when I clash with the Titans. Never be the same because my raps are the nicest. I'll leave the aftermath, a disaster, a crisis. Don't you even ask about the cash? It's priceless. I'm a hero like Parzival because I'm spitting every villain at the start.
Yeah, that's a lot to chop. Like,
because I'm spitting every villain they start to brawl. I put my city in my back in the car at the hall. Because I'm killing every track, bringing a martial law. I got legendary weaponry. I'm bringing out the melody. Can't remember all of it, but it's something like that.
So it's something like that.
It's something like that. Well, damn. All right. So, yeah, chopping it up, like Rob said, for sure.
Yeah, I think we wrote that like a fucking 6 months ago.
Yeah.
It's been sitting in the engineer's hands, so we're gonna get that mixed and mastered soon, but definitely some chopper bars and some swag shit on that one. It's fun.
So I guess on that note, with all of that hoppa you got going there, I want to ask, God, sorry guys, who is one of your biggest music inspirations? Who do you guys look up to? I know you guys had mentioned kind of Linkin Park and some strange artists already.
Yeah, so my like when I first started doing this, Mike Shinoda, Linkin Park was kind of my thing. Him and I are similar in age, so it's crazy, you know. We both had that same influence. And then I actually got into Bone Thugs and Harmony at a younger age, so that's kind of where I started learning to chop. And you know, here in the Midwest, that was kind of our thing. And then I'll never forget, I heard Industry is Punks. One of my buddies put Industry is Punks on by Tech Nine. And that was back when I used to get, you know, real blazed and stuff. And I remember hearing it for the first time, and it was just like the craziest shit I had ever heard. You know what I'm saying? So after that, I started listening to Tech, and, you know, my brother used to tell me, let Tech spit it, dog. Stop trying to let Tech spit it. Because I'd be, you know, trying to keep up with him and stuff. I'd be on Google looking up his lyrics, trying to keep up with it. You know what I'm saying? So Bone Thugs and Harmony, Tech Nine, Mike Shinoda, definitely some of my biggest influences, but yeah.
Yeah, and same with me. Of course, Shinoda pulled me into rap. I mean, that's when you're a metalhead, new metal type kid growing up. You start hearing Mike Shinoda, you hear Fred Durst and stuff, and you're like, "What the fuck is that?" You're like, "Oh, damn, they sound a little different than what I'm used to." And then you're like, "That's rap," which are out here, like I said, in Western Nebraska, we didn't know what rap was. Like, you grew up on country and rock music. There was not rap out here. So once you started hearing that, I kind of stumbled over, and I'd say probably some of my biggest inspirations, of course, would be Eminem. Of course, I stumbled into that. I know everyone's going to hate on me for saying this, but MGK. If you hate on MGK, I'm sorry, but you have no idea what you're doing as a musician or an artist, because if you look at him, the dude can sing. The dude switched two different genres. He knows how to formulate songs. He knows how to do hooks. He knows how to make hits. And the dude can play instruments. Like, if you're going to try to hate on MGK, you have no idea what you're talking about.
Big facts.
It's one of those things where looking at him, and then of course once I stumbled upon Strange as well, that's when a lot of shit for me changed, man. I was listening to a lot of swag music, so it was a lot of, which thank God to this day I still embrace that part of me and I bring it into my music. But once you started stumbling upon their artists, and then I heard like Cut Calhoun and I heard Bunk Rock Bitch and stuff like that, and I'm like, damn, he's taking that swag music and mixing it with this crazy lyrics and flow and shit like that. And then the older and older I've got, I'd say I'm more of, I like paying attention to lyrics and storytelling. So right now, I will say my biggest inspiration in music, I am studying the man like crazy and just listening is X-Rated. I will flat out say that once I stumbled upon his music, it was that song Kal-El, man, that changed a lot of shit for me, because I've always been one to pay more attention to a story from start to finish and doing some intricate bars and shit in my verses, and the flow is growing as I grow. But just hearing that dude just perfect that style, I'm like, damn, that can be done, and it can be done to perfection. So currently, I will say X-Rated is probably one of the biggest inspirations I have out there right now. When he drops projects and shit, I'm on there listening to it. I'm breaking it down bar for bar, and I'm like, okay, I see what you did here. And we actually had the honor of going out to dinner with X when we were in KC. We're actually doing a song with him and Jerry Robinson, and got a chance to, when we were in town, I offered up to X. I said, let us take you out for dinner. Let's chop it up on some business shit, and let's kind of get to know each other. And we went out, ate dinner with him, and then we actually got to, we were sitting here, and it was like I almost went into a trance, because X-Rated sitting right here and we're chopping it up, and then he starts talking about Kal-El and some of his songs, and then he just starts rattling off his bars in the middle of the restaurant, and I'm like, and breaking them down for us, and I'm like, dude, I'm watching the fucking professor break his shit down right here in front of me. And it's like, since that day, it's like I literally study the guy. Like, he's one of the people that I play on a regular basis to break him down.
X-Rated has just an aura about him.
Yeah, I don't know.
I felt it immediately. I could just tell that the connection with this dude, like one of the coolest, most humble dudes, and just chopping it up with him, and on an intellectual basis too.
Yes,
talking about all sorts of crazy shit. We probably kept him a little too long, because he's like, I only got this amount of time, but we ended up doubling the time he said that he could sit, because it was such a good conversation. So I echo what the man said here. X-Rated is that dude.
Yeah, and I mean, there's so many inspirations out there as an artist, but it's like you find your favorites, you study them, and it's like, and there's different facets of it as an MC too for inspiration. Like I just watched ISO do a show, I just watched Tabo do a show, I just watched Lex do a show on Conventional Kings, and I'm like, okay, now I have new inspiration for what I need to do on stage. Like watching ISO up there, and the dude's in shape, he's fucking chopping like a motherfucker without losing a breath. He's hopping all over the stage. He's wild and shit. And I'm like, I got to get my ass in the gym. Like, he drugged me into the gym for the first time in God knows how many years. I'm like, I got to do something, because I didn't mind being on stage and getting a little wild and stuff. But I'm like, if you truly want perfection, you can watch these guys. So that's kind of the way I get my inspirations. I see them as study cases. Like, it's class. Like, it's kind of goes back to old psychology 101 and stuff like that. You kind of, here's your styles, study it. There's a breakdown of how those verses go. And now I'm out here kind of, classes in session for me. all the time. And it isn't even just, sometimes I'll hear random artists too that are way off the, like him and I, when we actually work our day jobs together too. So we can sit in an office, and while we're working, we just get on Spotify and we play music. And we get on Discover Weekly, we get on Release Radar, we turn on random artist stations, and it's like you'll find an artist that you go listen to their catalog, and you go listen to how they're doing things and see if you can pick anything out of it that you like. And some people, you find them and you hear new styles and new stuff, and that's how you continue to grow as an artist, in my opinion.
That is awesome. I love that even during work that you guys take the time to still be cohesive and listen to that music and be involved.
Yeah, it's nice.
Um,
It's real nice. And luckily our what are you doing back there, Ollie? Luckily our boss, every once in a while, he kind of he's got to shut the doors and stuff. He's not a big rap fan, and sometimes we're in there just banging out music like crazy, but he's cool with it. He's understanding and knows that we're music heads, so it's cool to have a boss that lets us, in the positions we're in, sit there and jam out music like that and get our work done. So it's pretty dope.
so I want to kind of ask, I hope I don't put you on the spot by saying this, but you kind of made a post this morning, Prometheus, saying about you noticed some things that you needed to work on
Yeah.
about your stage. I don't know how to word this, but you noticed you had a tendency to grab
grab
yourself a
the,
few times.
grab the old nuts and
So
resituate them. Oh yeah.
not not to put the focus on that, but I have a point to this, or not really a point, but I guess a question. My question is that you obviously watched and took feedback from that. So my question is for you, Plex, and hopefully this doesn't put you on the spot. Did you notice anything from your performance that you noticed from replay that you yourself are like, hey, I need to do this?
Absolutely not. I crushed it 100%. No, obviously there's always things you can improve on. I think just crowd engagement, you know what I'm saying? So, and that just comes with experience. So, you could get up on stage and just spit your bars, do your thing, walk around, get hype, but you also got to engage with the crowd. You gotta look at them and stuff like that. It was hot as balls up there. I had sunglasses on because I wanted to swag out. So I couldn't see much once my glasses started fogging up. But really, just crowd engagement, and the biggest thing that I took away from it is now when we go forward and we do these shows, I'm already plotting the type of intros that we're gonna do and the type of cinematic type of stuff. I've already got it written out because I don't know, a lot of people don't know this, but I actually make beats too. So I'm actually working on a solo project right now. I'm doing all the beats for it, stuff like that. But yeah, we're gonna definitely improve on that and get people hyped up, engage with the crowd. But just wait and see what we got.
So I want to reiterate that I asked that question not to put you guys on the spot, but to basically just kind of share a little bit of kind of the afterthought of the show, I guess, or I don't exactly know how I'm trying to word this, but that you guys actually take the learning process as far as going back and watching that video and looking through it and realizing what you can do. And I personally asked because I'm a sponge for information. So anything that you can tell me that is a learning experience, I'm going to take and put into my little notebook of knowledge and use for myself. So I
Yeah.
wasn't trying to put you guys on the spot. I just wanted to share that I think more people should do that. And, kind of like any other sport, when you finish a game, whether you win or lose, you go back and you look at the replay and you, as a team, figure out, hey, look, I can improve on this or such. And I just wanted to basically put the focus on that you guys are serious in your music and you take the time to do that. So good
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah, there was a lot of lost sleep after the show. I stayed up until 4 a.m. I got faded as hell at the show. Went back. We watched the first live video we found, and I literally went and laid in bed and watched that live video probably for an hour and a half to an hour and 45 minutes straight until I fell asleep, just hyper analyzing everything I did on stage. So it's kind of one of those things where if you're going to do a craft, take it serious and study yourself, because there's always room for improvement with anything.
Yeah, and there's one other thing I would say, and if there's any artists right now watching, this is important, especially if you're going to do a live set. There's a stigma in the underground rap scene where it's like, you go on stage and you perform, you can't rap over your vocals. You can't, you gotta have, you know what I'm saying? That is complete bullshit. Okay. These people want an experience. These people want an absolute show, you know what I'm saying? So if as long as the levels and everything's decent, which it should be with your microphone, rapping over your master is gonna just sound incredible. It's gonna get people hyped. No one wants to hear a half mix performance where you're rapping, but it's half mixed and it sounds weird. Like, no one wants to hear that. So here's a tip. Always have your masters. There's a reason why all the professionals do it. ISO had it, Table had it, all of them had it. There's other shows I've been to at Tech, and I'm pretty sure they had their masters.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I love and I hate the underground community. I'm gonna be flat out honest. Like there's so many things in the underground community that, especially when we first came up and it was Hobson and it was Tech and all them, and it was like there's so many stigmas in underground rap where it's like you ever cross the line and do anything swag, you're whack. You ever do anything that's remotely mainstream, you're whack. Bullshit. I'm sorry to tell you guys that's complete bullshit. People want to hear hyphy tracks at a show. They want to hear songs about drinking liquor and fucking bitches and doing the stuff that people do, and that's what gets people hyped up. So you don't have to go on stage every time and be like, I'm going to do this crazy lyrical performance and I've got to drop all of my vocals and I'm going to go out here and be this wordsmith and drop these crazy bars and shit. Yeah, that's cool for rapidy rap fans, but for the general public that comes there to check out a show, they have zero fucking interest in that. I mean, you could still get lyrical and shit, like our verses are still dope and shit, but we have kind of mainstreamy hooks and shit like that where it draws people in and it makes them sing and it makes them feel good. And it's like, there's so many things in underground rap where you've got people that, and it's usually the people that, I've seen this on Facebook recently, the people that aren't out here doing anything, that are people that aren't out here doing shit, not putting out albums, not getting in a studio, not doing shows or anything, that are trying to spread this fucking false pretense that you're whack if you spit over your vocals. Like, you need to go out there and you need to perform. And it's like, nah, dog, no one wants to hear you fucking half-ass your lyrics over a beat when you could have the full experience and fucking shred it and people are getting hyphy. Facts. So that's some of the things that, if you are our artist out there and you're listening to this, just take the underground with a grain of salt. I love it. It bred us. It made us who we are. But the underground is also one of the most toxic fucking places I've ever been in. And it eats at artists and it makes them give up and it crushes them to an extent. And granted, that's probably good because it sorts some people out. But some people take that so seriously that they're stifling themselves and their career as an artist, because they're putting themselves in this box of, oh, I grew up in underground rap. I can never step outside of that shell, or I'm not a dope artist. And it's like, forget that shit and go out there and be an MC, do what you do. And like we always tell each other, if you think it's dope, I respect you for that. And you're going to do it. Like, that's the type of thing. Like, trust your gut and your heart when you go out to make a song and stuff. If something comes to your mind and it sounds a little swaggy and mainstream or whatever, chances are it's for a reason, and you're going to fucking end up shredding it. So don't paint yourself into this corner where it's negative and weird over there. Don't stay in that corner.
Facts.
I can promise you that it will stifle you as a musician.
That, I feel like that is very, very sound advice. And on that, I know that you guys have recently ran into a few. So how do you guys address your haters?
They're my favorite people in the world. As everyone knows, I am a very, very fucking vocal person. I am very outspoken. And quite frankly, there's a few things I care about in life, but quite frankly, I don't give a fuck what people think about me. Like, it is what it is. I'm a big old chubby dude and I'm on stage talking about fucking bitches and getting pussy and doing stuff like that. Like, clearly someone like me should not be by the public's eye talking about that, because I'm not your stereotypical dude with shredded abs and shit like that. But I don't give a fuck what people think about me. So when people come out here and they're hating on what I do, who I am, or what I'm going to do, You have no fucking idea of the life I live or what I do in my free time. So who are you to come out here and tell me who I should be and what mold I should fit in? And if anything, it just inspires me, and I'm going to go write a song about it, and it's going to be a hit, and you're going to look like a dumb fuck. So that's where I view them.
That's beautiful. That's poetry, right?
Poetry in motion.
All right. So you guys have already mentioned a few kind of bigger name people that you've had the opportunity to work with. Is there anyone else that you've gotten features with that you're willing to name drop on us?
We've got a really cool one.
Which one?
It's kind of pending. Dakota.
Oh yeah. So there's a group out there named Silent Theory, and go look them up at some point if you've never heard of them. They are a rock group, and they are taking off like fucking crazy, and I mean crazy. Like, they are blowing the fuck up. And their lead singer, I have this thing for networking. Like, for some reason, I am really, really good at getting a hold of people. I'm really good at saying the right things and getting them to take me serious and listen to me. And I hit Dakota up. I kind of shared him some of our music and stuff like that. And a dude like that has no business checking us out or chopping it up with me or anything. And at one point, I mean, Dakota heard our shit, and he's like, we need to work together in the future. So we actually bought an exclusive beat for him from 3030 and everything. And we've got that on standby. He's recording an album with Silent Theory right now and everything. And then we have this crazy ass rock rap song we're going to do with Dakota from Silent Theory. We of course have the song coming up with Jerry and X, and to my knowledge, this may be different now, but I think it's still the case. We will have the first song in Strange Music history where those two have worked together on the same song, which is something that it's one of those things where it's and the whole story of how that came about too. That was just a wild situation. The one thing that I do want to talk about on here, just because I want to spread this to other individuals, is I want to talk about manifestation. People need to understand that that is a real thing. There's a lot of stigma around it, and people think it's weird and shit like that. But I will tell you, as you start learning about manifestation, we actually had someone that we are very blessed to encounter, and I want to give a huge shout out to Noe right now. Noe is our producer. And the engineer out in Denver, and he actually works for Ice Cube. Ice Cube is his boss, and he used to fuck with us in the Proplex days. And once we started back up music, I hit up Noe, and we kind of started chopping it up again. And he's like, "Let's work." So we went up. We started working with Noe, and Noe was in the industry for years. He was in a rock group that toured the world. He did his thing. He headlined Red Rocks multiple times. Like, Noe knows his shit, and he pulled us in, kind of took us under his wing, told us what to watch out for in the industry. And then we kind of started chopping it up on some kind of other level topics. And he brought up manifestation, and I'd always heard about it. I'd always kind of believed in it, but I'd never really like drove my mind to manifest things. So that's led us down some crazy paths. I mean, even with us working with Jerry and X, like, by freak chance, and I'm telling you, by freak chance, our job does trade shows for our day job. And we only do a couple a year. Two of the locations that we happen to be in trade shows, one of them was Kansas City. We went out to dinner with X. Randomly, we're on a plane, and we're flying out to
Knoxville, Tennessee.
Knoxville, Tennessee, and a gal that I know hits me up on Snapchat, and she's like, why are you going to Knoxville with like the eye emoji? And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? And she's like, you don't know who's in town tonight? And of course, we were doing our work thing, so I wasn't quite paying attention to it. And next thing you know, she sends me a message, and she's like, are you going to see Jerry? And I was like, what the fuck? And I look, and Jerry is in Knoxville that night performing. By freak chance, he is there. And so I hit up Tara, and I'm like, yo, Tara, we kind of want to come chop it up with you guys. We were kind of talking with X and Jerry about shooting a music video for this song and everything. So we wanted to make sure that I'm a businessman at heart, so I would rather see people face to face. I would rather talk to them, let them know I appreciate them for working with us, and kind of show that respect and show who we are as people versus conversating over a text or anything like that. So we actually went, and we got to see Jerry in concert, watch him perform with Ritz and Noble Poets, and then we got to go backstage and kind of chop it up with Jerry on some business shit. But it's little things like that where once you start kind of paying attention to it and looking around you, you'll start seeing signs and things where things will add up, or you'll start noticing that a person that you haven't seen in years, you'll think about them. There was a gal when I heavily got into manifestation and listened to an audiobook about it. I hadn't seen this gal in probably 12, 14 years, and she randomly popped in my head one day. I literally went to Walmart to get groceries, and I swear she was in the aisle right there. I walked right past her, got my cart, went in the frozen aisle to get my kids their breakfast shit. There's this gal that I just randomly thought about that I haven't seen in 12 years, just like that. After kind of, it almost seems like it teases you. Like, do you feel that way too?
Yeah.
Like it almost like lays shit out there for you to like.
They're breadcrumbs.
Yes.
It's synchronization and it's breadcrumbs. It basically you put your mind to what you want to do and you follow through with it. Okay, and that's how this gets started. And you say, I'm gonna do this shit. You go out and do it, and then you believe in manifestation. And like you said, you start seeing the breadcrumbs. It's interesting.
Yeah, it's a real trippy experience.
It just happened to me this morning. I'm working on my my solo shit, right? And one of the ideas I have for my set when I come out, it's like King Arthur. I'm Plex Hero. I'm here to save rap music. And one of the things is I'm going to do a King Arthur type intro. There's going to be some bass rumbling, and the mic is going to be in the sword, and I'm going to pull the sword out of the stone, and it's going to go shing, and then there's going to be some gleaming, right? King Arthur. I'm messaging Noe. We talked about Noe. I messaged him that, right? I get in my truck. I'm driving to work. There's King Arthur right there on the movie theater. It just come out, I guess.
Yeah, and another one that really hit me the other day. And sometimes when they hit you, like it makes you want to puke sometimes. Like I get the chills. My hair stands up on my neck. Well, not now. I've been waxing that shit so I can look a little more clean. But all your hairs on your body will stand up, and that happened to me at the Jerry concert. We actually one of the local openers we've never heard before. After we listened to a book that X told us about to listen to about manifestation, we show up there, and the first opener sings a song about manifestation. And I shit you not, I about had to leave the venue for a second because I felt like I was going to die for a second. Like my whole body got the chills, all my hair stood up on end. And that just happened to me again. Was that yesterday when I brought that up about see you on the other side?
Yes.
So since we started Sky Manor, I always hashtag see you on the other side, because it's like there's this division between people that are kind of people that want you to live in normality and people that kind of hate on you. And I view that we're going to get to that other side of that wall, and then I'm going to be there waving at them and saying, we told you what was up. Like, you should have believed in us type situation. So I've always been hashtagging see you on the other side. And I'm just sitting here thinking yesterday, and it just hit me like a brick wall. And I'm sitting there and I literally get the chills. My hair stands on end and I feel like I'm going to throw up. And I just realized that the first show we ever did as Sky Manor was at a venue called The Other Side in Kearney, opening for ISO, and I've been hashtagging see you on the other side this whole time with Sky Manor. And it's just, it's a weird little shit like that where it's like, of all the venues that we got picked to play at, we didn't have any say in that. We didn't get to choose the venue, but that's what was laid out in front of us.
Wow, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's trippy shit at the end of the day, but once you start believing and you start seeing it happen, like you really start looking at life a little differently, and you look for those signs, and you know that you're still synchronizing with the path you're meant to be on.
Yeah, no, I am a definite believer in manifestation. One, because my wife is a Reiki master and she preaches about that nonstop. And not only that, but just in the last few weeks, as Rob has pointed out in one of these comments, in my interview with Crystal Watson, he had made a comment simply saying in the comment section, when can we get Chris on the show? And my wife had commented that would be awesome. And I shit you not, no more than 2 minutes later, Chris had walked downstairs during that interview and popped his head in during my show.
That's what's up.
So I credit Rob 100% for manifesting that on my show. And not only that, but there was another incident where we were just casually walking down the street. We were having a really hard time. Life was kicking us in the ass, and me and my wife were just walking down the street, and it was a windy kind of ugly day, and she just looks down. We stopped at a light, and she just casually goes, "Man, I just wish, wouldn't it be nice if we found like, $100?" Or I don't even know if she stated a number, but she just said, "Wouldn't it be if we found some money?" And I shit you guys not, she happened to glance over at that exact moment, glance over, and a bush 10 feet away from us in a ass field on the corner of an very busy intersection, we found a crisp $100 bill.
That is
Just
wild.
like, so I absolutely believe in manifestation.
Yeah, that's cool.
Nope, I think
We lose you.
we might have lost you for a second. We'll let her load back in. Bad way.
Actually, leading up to another.
Oh,
I don't know if you can hear us, but you're frozen right now. I just want to chill.
Madwag's gonna chill. Yeah. Is there a chat? There we go. Yeah, messenger. Say you frozen.
All right. Right.
Oh, good. Now you're coming back. You're coming back.
Oh, there we go. There we
You're
go.
coming back. You're coming back.
All right. I think. All right.
Yep, we're
Okay.
good.
Now you're good. Now you're good.
Actually, was. All right. So the question actually is, if you could have a feature with anyone, dead or alive, who would you want to work with?
Tech Nine. I will forever say that. That is my dream. It will forever be my dream. He has his style. I'm watching him go through the years and do what he's done and be the legend that he is. And if you work with Tech, you're goated. Like I mean, that's just one of the things. If Tech hits you up and he's like, "Yo, I want you on an album," at that point, that's the pinnacle in the underground rap game. Like you're good enough that Tech fucking Nine reached out and said, "Yo, I want you on an album." That's when you know you've done your fucking thing and you've impressed the goat. And it's one of those things where I do believe at some point in my life that will happen for Sky Manor. I do believe that we will end up working with Tech. I know that with the way we move, the way we shape, the way our music gets out, it's going to hit his ears. And I know he's going to be impressed. And at some point, whether it be he's on one of our projects or we're on one of his, I know my dream collab will come true. And I'm not sure where he's at with his, but
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I would agree with that. Tech Nine or Crazy Bone, one of the two.
Crazy would be dope.
Crazy Bone or Tech Nine would be my absolute all-time dream collab. For sure.
If we're talking mainstream though, Joyner Lucas, what's up, dog?
Right.
Let's get you on a song.
Yeah, no shit. That motherfucker's crazy.
Well, I feel like you guys are closer to that than you may think, seeing as you were invited to open by King ISO's crew. So I feel like that's a pretty good foot in the door, if you ask me.
Yeah, it's nice.
For any of my viewers, I just want to remind you guys real quick to drop any questions that you guys might have.
Can't see the view count on that.
I just want to let you guys know that I seem to be running into some technical issues over here.
No, you're good.
It keeps glitching out on my end. It's all right. All right. If you guys are telling me I'm good, then I'm gonna just keep going with it. I'm gonna tell my dumb self over here. I can do that all the time.
You're good.
Have you guys had the opportunity to perform outside of your state?
No. No, that is something that
Next year, I bet next year
I
we
don't
manifesting that, if not sooner.
if not sooner. I think one thing we're really going to shoot for is for anyone that is watching this, if you want to see Sky Manor live, we are putting on a benefit concert for domestic violence survivors and sexual assault victims in our hometown. And once again, rap is not accepted out here. We got the blessing to work with the foundation, and the county commissioners in our city actually granted us use of our county fairgrounds. We had an awesome local dude that runs a company out here that donated the money to us to get a professional stage with a lighting setup and everything like that. And we are going to put on our own concert. And this is going to be our hometown shit. We are having motherfucking Wilk Holiday fly in from Georgia. We're having that boy Cypher hit the stage. We're having Knowledge hit the stage. And you are going to see Gilded Records perform in our hometown. And that is something that I've always wanted to do. That I told myself when we first started doing music, the pinnacle for what would make me feel good is to know that we got to perform in our hometown and I saw locals come out and support us. And I think we are going to see that. We're going to see more locals than what I think we're going to see. And that boy Rob Gates is already scheming and planning. He's going to film the whole set and all that. And then, of course, with the shit I do, I'm going to edit that set. I'm going to put it together in a promo video, and I'm going to blast it the fuck all over Facebook with some advertising funds behind it and show people what we do on stage. And at that point, promoters are going to be made aware of who Sky Manor is. Record labels are going to be made aware of who Sky Manor is. And before too long, we're going to be on a fucking national tour. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I hate to be this way. I try not to be this way. I'm a very humble individual, but we are dope at what we do. We are professionals. We are students of the game. We don't only go out here and do shows and fuck around. We go have our fun and we study and learn how to get better. And the more and more we do this, it's fucking dangerous. Like, I'm going to tell you that much. If we're already for our first show back doing as good as we did that first time, I can't imagine what's going to happen when we hit the stage a couple more times and get some more material behind us, because it's going to get to a point where our live set, between our brains and how hypercritical we are of ourselves and what we do and the entertainment factor we have with Sky Manor, we're going to end up on a national tour. I know it for a fact, and I will speak that into existence right now. Within the next 2 years, we will be on a national tour, touring the whole United States. And after that, we will travel the world and people will hear our music.
Facts.
So that actually leads me into one of my other questions. If you have, when, not if, when you have the opportunity to headline any venue anywhere in the world, what venue would you want to headline?
Red Rocks.
Red Rocks, hands down. Hands down. Red Rocks would be.
Oh, that reminds me. Noe sent me a message. Did you see that about Red Rocks?
Mm.
Oh, I think that was in my DM. Noe's got crazy connections, and he said there's an opportunity we might be able to open up at Red Rocks for somebody. But I'm wondering if it's Cube. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
that would be dope.
No, and that's the nice part with us. We have really good people in our corner. Like, it's the connections we've made. And this is, I'm going to give another piece of advice out here to underground rappers. Conduct yourself like a business professional. I know you're a fan of these individuals. I know that you look up to them and stuff like that, but I will tell you from personal experience, we aren't even that big. I respect an MC more that comes up to me and treats me like a human being and like I'm their peer, like we're coworkers, rather than someone coming up and going crazy fangirl on me. I feel like a lot of these artists that are bigger get off put by like stuff like that, and it kind of creeps them out a little bit. Like, if you're an MC, give them their flowers and stuff like that, but don't be all up in their business asking them like for autographs and all that shit and all in their face being weird about it. Like, treat them like they're your peer. Respect them. You are a business person at the end of the day, and if you would like to work with certain individuals or you would like to progress your career, you have to learn to conduct yourself in a professional manner. You have to learn to go and chop it up with these people without getting nervous, without making a fool of yourself. And the only way to do that is you have to get comfortable and you have to look at them as though they are, you can't say on the same playing field as you because these guys are legends at what they do, but you have to treat them as if they are a coworker, someone that is in the same trade as you, and at some point you will cross paths and you will get what you want. But you gotta learn that control and how to command an environment and a room, and also how to read a room. That is something that a lot of people are very, very bad at. And you may get the chance, like say for me, Tech Nine. Let's say, hell, I went to Jerry Robinson's album release party. Tech was in the house. Did I want to go talk to Tech? Did I want to chop it up with Tech? Fuck yes, I did. Every ounce of me wanted to go talk to Tech. He was busy. There was shit going on. There was something in me that told me in that moment, this is not the time. I know I will get time in the future to catch him at some point, but you have to listen to your gut and read a room. If you've got a person with their crew and they're doing their thing and everything, the last thing they want is you coming up and trying to spaz out and talk to them and stuff like that. It's like you've just got to read the room and know when your moment is, and don't get discouraged if the first time you reach out to someone or something, they don't want to work with you or something doesn't happen. Like everyone has their days, everyone has their moments and shit like that. And at the end of the day, like fuck, we've been shot down for collabs with people. I've reached out to people and we've been turned down. I mean, it's just the nature of the game. But at some point down the line, will they want to work with us? Who knows? Like you never know when it's your day. And the other thing on top of that is maintaining professionalism. Um, there are many bridges from a business perspective in music that you do not want to burn. And I know that we are all emotional human beings. We are all um, quick to react at times. I mean, I get a little temper behind me sometimes, and I get a little wild. But at the end of the day, before I take anything public or before I interact with an individual, I sit there and I play out every scenario in my head of what are the positives of this interaction, what are the negatives, who is this person associated with, who may know this person, who may they be working with. And at the end of the day, I will promise you, you don't have a fucking clue who people are working with. So if you're going to go out here and you're going to act a fool and you're going to basically go off or do whatever you want to do just on pure emotion, you're probably going to start kind of tarnishing relationships, or you look like you're a loose cannon. And that's something that I will tell. I see a lot of underground rappers that get into some weird situations where they just kind of, whether it be with another fellow MC or something like that, with a business transaction, or even when they get on there and get into it with another group's fans or something like that. It's like at the end of the day, your opinions are awesome. Everybody has them, but sometimes they're meant to be kept to themselves. And it's like I see a lot of rappers going in other people's comment section and their fan section, hating on them or their crew or their fans and shit like this, starting beef and all that. And it's like at the end of the day, anyone that's in the music industry that takes it seriously, if they see you doing that, like that's kind of no. There's just these little things that, and a lot of people don't know that, and a lot of people are human beings and they do what they do on socials. But I will tell you from my background, my experience, and what we have done with what we're doing it, do not act on emotions. Take some time, think about it, conduct yourself in a professional manner. If you do have to handle exchanges with someone, take it up offline, chop it up with them, figure it out. But at the end of the day, positivity is what matters. And there's a lot of negative in the world. There's a lot of negativity out there, and negativity fuels hatred. Negativity fuels a whole lot of emotions that you shouldn't bring out. And at the end of the day, you're going to get what you put out. So if you're a negative person, if you're negative towards people in a business manner, all that type of shit, you're going to have negativity come in your life. If you're positive, you inspire positive interactions between other MCs in the community. You sit there and you kind of hype people up, you coach them, you tell them what's up, and you treat them with respect and do it with honor. That's the way I see it. Do with the honorable thing, and that will come back to you tenfold. I don't know if you've got anything on that matter.
Nah, well said.
One 100%. No, always handle yourself with professionalism. Yeah, we actually got quite a few questions here. I'm gonna try to find This
We
one
got
is one
we
of
got time,
my
so we can run
favorites. I
through it.
get almost every show, and it's gonna lighten it up a bit. If you were a fish in a toilet bowl, what fish would you be?
I'm a piranha because I'm
man.
biting. Is that what you were gonna say? No fucking way.
Is that a piranha?
I'm biting that ass once it comes to sit down. Get the
barracuda.
and that's the crazy shit about us too. Our minds work the same. We won't talk about shit. We won't do shit. And
Another
we gotta say the same words all the time. It's fucking weird. Piranha, especially. Oh yeah, yeah.
another question we have is what is something you guys actually I want to ask this other one first. What is one of your guys' favorite songs to perform or one that makes you emotional?
Oh man,
Or
perform.
I'll let
I
you.
guess
I'll let
or that
you go.
means the most to you.
Oh, song that means the most to us.
Man,
That's hard. Mine would have to be Deep Waters. I think my verse in Deep Waters, I wrote that. It's a mix between Deep Waters and Running. Because as an individual, I've struggled with mental health a lot.
yeah,
To a point where I've been in some very, very bad places in life. I've done a lot of drugs. I was a previous addict for a long time, and I'm talking heavy drugs, not just weed and stuff. I did a lot of bad things that I should not have been doing, and mixed a lot of drugs, and almost OD'd a couple times. Ended up in the ER. Um, and there's moments in your life where you kind of just got to grow up. And when I wrote Deep Waters, it was kind of a verse about kind of being in that place. And in that verse, I talk about kind of wanting to dip my toes in the water, and that was me back in the days where I'd stop doing drugs, and then it's like I'd get around my friends and stuff, and I'm like, I got to feel that feeling again. I want to kind of dip in the water again and see what it feels like. I want to go for a swim, and then it ultimately culminates to the point where I'm talking about having my first kid. And at that moment, it's just kind of, I'm getting emotional right now thinking about it. Your life changes when you become a parent, and that my son saved my life. He honestly did. So I'll let you go.
yeah. Yeah. Running probably. I mean, same thing with me. You know, I when I was young, I was diagnosed with ADHD, and at the time, I'm a '90s baby, so at the time they would just feed me Ritalin, and amphetamines, and I remember as a kid, high on Ritalin, trying to go to bed, and seeing shadows move and monsters in the dark and shit like that. That's a real story.
Yeah.
And I remember running into the bathroom and turning the light on and just banging on the door to try to wake my mom up. She was upstairs because I was seeing shadows moving and shit. Because I was high on Ritalin. You don't give a kid Ritalin, man. So yeah, definitely running for me for sure.
Okay. What is something you guys like to do outside of music?
I like to game. I like to hang out with my kids, and I like to collect action figures.
Yeah, if you can't tell by that back wall, he loves his action figures.
Yeah.
Me, I enjoy watching sports. I enjoy hanging out with my kids. Most importantly for me, I'm a hardcore extrovert. I have an introverted side to me, but when I am not working on music and stuff like that, I literally fiend for human interaction. Like whether it be going out and seeing friends, going out and talking to people, fuck all randomly. If I don't have shit going on, I will go to Walmart just because I need one thing, because I know with who I am and my personality and who I am, I'm going to bump into someone at the store, and then I get that human interaction that I need where I can talk to someone. Or a lot of the times it's a random stranger. Like, I'm not going to lie, I just naturally draw people to me. And it happens in big cities and all sorts of stuff. Random people will just come up and start talking to me, and I enjoy getting to study people. I guess that's my thing. I enjoy people watching. I enjoy getting to kind of talk to people and learn different walks of life and where they came from and stuff like that. And it's kind of weird. It puts me in some situations sometimes. I meet some interesting cats.
That's why he's so successful. I mean, I'm the opposite. Like I'm more of a recluse. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's what makes him so successful with marketing. He's the white Suge Knight. He's that. You know what I'm saying? And it's interesting because we like, just for example, at the ISO show, he's walking up to high definition with Unconventional Kings, chopping it up with him. I'm sitting over here just like, yeah, You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to interrupt that because he is just that presence. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, it's if I had my dream, I would every single day I would be at a show and I would be meeting new people and getting to kind of course, at the end of the day, I would want to be with my kids and see my kids and stuff like that. But to get that high that you get from doing a show and also getting to feed that part of me that is the hardcore extrovert, where I want to meet new people, I want to see people, and I want to talk to them. Like that is just kind of who I am outside of everything other than working.
He lost his voice.
Yeah,
I still have my voice.
Yeah, I
wasn't out there fucking.
I was screaming during the openers and shit. Like I made it a point. I got down there when shout out Lex Bratcher. Let's go. Lex turned me into a huge fan. I knew who Lex was. I watched her get on stage and got going, and I made it a point. I got down in that crowd, and in between parts where she was chopping and the beat would drop and stuff, I was out there going, hey, getting the crowd hyped up and stuff, because I want everyone around me to have a good time. I want it to. If you're at that concert experience or if you're around me, chances are I'm going to do some off the wall shit. I have no shame, and you're probably going to have a good fucking time. And I'm probably going to bring people out of their shell. I do that with him all the time. Like once you get around me, and if you have anxiety, if you're reclusive or anything like that, I'll take you out in public and I will kind of shed that away. And next thing you know, you're having drinks and you're getting wild with the rest of us. And it's just one of those things.
That's actually, this podcast is my practice because I am more the introvert type too. So doing this podcast helps me get out of my shell when I'm in public and be a little bit more comfortable talking to some of the artists and people that are there, because unfortunately, kind of like you said earlier, I don't over fangirl, but I'm definitely in the fangirl status where I don't know how to fully reach business status when talking to these people. I'm just too shy and introverted, and I have this idea, like you had mentioned, that some of these people are just so completely out of my stratosphere that to me I'm like, I don't I don't give myself enough credit and effort to try. I just immediately am, kind of like they're not going to even give me the time of day. So uh this has been a very, you guys have taught me a lot during this podcast.
Good.
So I just want to stop and say thank you for educating me on a whole lot of things that I can apply to some of the things that I want to manifest in my future. And I think you taught me a lot of good tips on how to do that. So thank you for that.
Yeah, no problem.
Absolutely.
That's what we're here for. Noe told us, he said, one thing that I will tell you is if I'm going to work with you and we're going to do this, I want you to give back to others. I want you to grab other people's hands. I want you to don't forget about where you came from, and you don't forget about the fact that there's other people out there. And that really hit me that day. We were driving with him in his Jeep going out to lunch, and he told us about some other famous artists, I won't mention names, from the Denver area that made it and basically shit on everyone that got them to where they were. And so I'm already naturally a leader and a teacher and stuff like that. So I try my best to help everyone I can. And I know he does the same. And I have people in my inbox all day. And apologies to those of you that I can't get to. I try my best, but like even my phone, I've got 382 unread text messages right now. It's just one of those things where I've got a lot of people between my day job, between helping people with things on the side, helping people with kind of charity efforts and stuff like that. I am a busy person, but we are going to be creating a Patreon for Sky Manor and our record label. And one of the things that will be a perk of that is you will get more exclusive access to ask us questions like this and chop it up with us, where you can schedule a call with us and we will give you business advice, or we will talk you through a situation or whatever. There's going to be perks like that, that if you're serious about learning from us, I'm going to help give you the channel. He's going to help give you the channel to kind of get in there and chop it up with us, whether it be you need advice on a song, or you need our group to listen to it and be like, no, you go this direction or something like that, or give you some good constructive criticism or whatever it may be. I want to offer that outlet to people, where they have people that still care in the community, before we get too big to a point where we can't do that. Because I'm not going to lie, at some point we aren't going to be able to be this involved with people. Like it just gets to that point. But right now we have that luxury where we can do that, and I want to do that. And I think that would benefit a lot of people. And I feel like I have helped coach and helped a lot of people in the world, and I continue having them come to me for advice and stuff like that. And at times it does get overwhelming, and I will go on like a 5-day hiatus where I've just got to shut down and I've just got to stop, because I'm naturally a hard worker and a go-getter, and I work. And every part of me wants to help people, but sometimes you got to help yourself as well, and you have to do things for yourself. And I'm trying to find that balance right now. And I know Plex in the future, he's making beats. He's going to be opening a beat store, all that type of stuff. He is very knowledgeable in production and just music in general. He will give you advice. He will tell you, no, that, like, he tells me sometimes, no, that's whack, dog, rewrite that. Like, it's just one of those things where if you respect someone and you want their advice, we are going to give that channel. And I hope some people utilize that. And the last thing I want to talk about, to give you a little footsie there, the last thing I do want to shout out is thank you, Madwack. Thank you, Sunray. Thank you, Rob. Thank you, everyone in our street team.
Yes.
You guys do a tireless and sometimes thankless job. And you have been, I think we are growing so fast. And it isn't just our marketing. It isn't just all the stuff we're doing. It is the word of mouth from all of you guys that are out here spreading us. And I know you guys fuck with us, and I love you guys for that. Like, from the bottom of my heart, our street team is some of the greatest people I've ever met. And if you aren't a Sky Manor fan and you want to be, I encourage you to go check out our catalog. And then if you are serious about wanting to help spread us and you want to be part of a really fucking awesome community, hit up Rob, hit up Madwack. We have a street team. We all get together. We talk about some random off the wall shit sometimes, but a lot of it is music and just kind of life shit. And you join a community. There's Rob right there. We're looking for new members on that street team. Exactly. I will currently, what are we at right now, Rob? Do you know off the top of your head, or Madwack, for members?
Oh, I'm sure Rob does.
Yeah, because I would like to see that street team grow to 100 members by the end of this year. And I have no doubt that it's going to happen. And I guess the other thing I want to bring up, and I'll let you talk about this, is our other artists on our label and what they have kind of coming up and who they are and what styles they have. That way, you know, it's not just Sky Manor. We have Gilded Records, and there are other people that you are going to get to hear and be blessed with when you get in our camp.
Yes, please tell us. I'm glad that you did bring that up, and that it's not just Sky Manor, but as you guys said, it's an entire label. So go ahead and tell us about some of your other artists.
Yeah, so like Prometheus was saying, he spit his verse for our song called Gilded. I fucked mine up, but you get the gist of it. That's kind of the brand that we wanted to go with, right? A gilded gold trim. You're in Sky Manor. Sky Manor now lives within a realm, the Gilded Realm. And what we wanted to do was not only just put some of these really talented artists on locally, but also just try to form a powerhouse of amazing artists. So that way it's really recognized, you know what I'm saying? So we've got Cypher. It's Cipher, right? So like a key, or like a lock, like you know what I'm saying? Like a cipher, not like a 308 cipher, which is Cyph. But this dude, people say he sounds like Nas, which he kind of does. Yeah. But this dude has a butter flow. Lyrically, he's incredible. If you go check out the 308 cipher, he finishes it out and he fucking bodies it. You know, this dude is insane. So he's actually a local. He's out of Scotts Bluff, so he's about an hour and a half, 2 hours from us. Which we knew about him back in the day, but we didn't really communicate with him and all that. So we asked him to join. No, first of all, we asked him to see if he'd hop on that cipher, right? Because he's in the 308 area code, and he said, "Oh, he'd love to do it." So he did it. Then we were like, when we had the idea to form Gilded Records, reached out to him, and he's like, "Yeah, absolutely, I'd love to do it." So we kind of lit a fire under this dude, and he's going full steam ahead. He built his own website. Man, he's putting out records consistently. I've got a feature on one of his songs on his album that's dropping.
Crazy.
Summer Storm Dreams is coming out here real soon in the summer, and that song is fucking sick. And him and I are gonna shoot a video for that here real soon. I'm fucking psyched for that shit. I bodied that verse. I love that shit. He always tells me, "You fucking bodied that." It was just fun. It was incredible. Then we got a dude named Knowledge, who's also a local, but he's out of Shattern, so he's about 2 hours from us. And he's got more of a R&B Tupac kind of sound.
Yeah.
And this dude is so fucking talented. He's also on the 308 cipher. He comes in after me. So I start the first verse, and then he comes in with the zon in, you know what I'm saying? And this dude lyrically, he used to battle rap. So his lyrics are there. The dude can harmonize. He's just incredible. He makes beats. You know what I'm saying?
He's a performer too. He is open for big artists and big venues. He knows his shit.
Yeah, you can go on YouTube and where he's opened up for Bone Thugs and all these other artists and find his stuff. So what we're really trying to do is, he's going through some shit right now. I don't want to speak on that, but we're trying to coach him and provide this dude with the platform and the resources to help this guy blow the fuck up, because he is so fucking talented. I cannot wait to see what he's doing. He was actually, before we took off to the ISO show, we brought him with us. And we recorded the very first song for our Gilded Realm Collabos album that we're doing. And we recorded he's doing the hook on it, and it's fucking sick. Yeah. Not wait to get that one done. And then, of course, we've got Will Holiday out of Georgia. If you guys don't know who Will Holiday is, you better tap the fuck in. Yo. He is the next Post Malone. I promise you. This guy is incredible. I mean, if anyone out of Gilded Realm is going to blow, it's going to be him first. Yes. I fucking promise you that. Yes. Will Holiday is incredible. You got to go check out his catalog immediately. I promise you. You will not be disappointed. Who am I missing?
And then us.
That's the squad. Yes. That's the squad.
And with Gilded Realm, if you are, we will be adding to it in the future. Gilded Realm. Right now, we've got our starting 5. We've got the OGs of Gilded Realm. We're going to start working together and stuff like that. But if you know of anyone, or if you are an artist yourself and you're looking to chase it, prove yourself, do stuff, get our notice, that stuff. And what we offer as a label, I will tell you, is we the stuff that I do very well and the stuff he does very well, we give that to our label free of charge. Like they get marketing from me. I help them with their creative. Cypher's even taken the step of learning from our blueprint and starting to do the stuff himself, because he's seen what we're doing and he's out here pulling that off himself now. So we offer those marketing services once they have songs drop and stuff like that. I'm going to go on, I'm going to create Google ads for them for YouTube videos. I'm going to go on, I'm going to create social ads for them. I'm going to create visualizers. I'm going to help them get the stuff that you need to blow the fuck up and get noticed. And that's what we offer, versus being like, yo, you're going to sign a contract with us. We're going to lock you in for this, this, and this, yada, yada, yada. It's, no, you're not signing a contract. You're in our brotherhood now, and we want to help you. This is what we're going to do for you. Be respectful, help forge a relationship with your other label mates, and help drive it forward. And we're a goofy bunch. We get on Discord calls, and we'll be in there fucking having drinks, freestyling, acting like fools. And it's one of those things. And I will say, on the top of my list right now, if there's people in here listening, I am looking, as is he, for a female vocalist to join Gilded Realm Records. And we are looking for, not per se a rapper, I want a mainstream sounding pop vocalist, whether it's almost like an Ariana Grande or Billie Eilish type feel. Like, we want someone that we can get in here, that we can help link her up with a producer. We can help her identify her sound and her brand, which is also something we're helping these guys do is get them logos, get them brand packages, all that type of stuff that they need to succeed. I want to find a gal to bring her in, help her find that identity, and then we have a hook monster that we can throw on stuff, and then she can do her pop stuff that can also be pushed. But when we need her and we're like, we either wrote this hook or we hear a crazy beat and we want you to write something, she can hop in there and she can body it. And the other catch is, if you're with Gilded Realm, I'm sorry to say, you got to be a little bit of a fucking nerd. I mean, we're nerds at heart. We're comic book fans. We're movie buffs. Like, we are fucking nerds at heart. And I will say there is part of Gilded Realm is, as we progress this, it won't probably be happening this year, but next year or so, we are creating a cinematic universe with Gilded Realm where we are going to be ordering movie grade props that are weapons and shit like that. And our music videos are essentially going to become mini movies, and we're aiming to form a whole collabos album where we do a music video for every one of those songs, and it goes in order, and it will be like you're watching a movie where you start to finish. You're going to watch this whole music video, and we're going to be bringing in surprise guests. I've already kind of planted some seeds with someone and a couple others, and we're going to bring them in as villains in our realm, and it will kind of have almost this movie feel to it along with the music. So you're going to get both the entertainment aspect of movie and film and acting, which, I mean, I think all of us are capable of that, along with the music, and you're going to watch this picture be painted in this story where there's these different realms, and whether we're in our universe, which is Sky Manor, or whether we're in Will Holiday's universe, which is like a futuristic kind of steampunk cowboy type thing where he plays kind of this bounty hunter. When we go into those worlds in Gilded Realm, we will maintain the same weapons, which these are actual weapons that we're getting done up, 3D printed models that are made out of actual metal and shit that are basically the keys to our realms. When we go to Will Holiday's, our weapons will remain the same, but our outfits will reflect going into his world because we're going into Will Holiday's realm. So each person has their own realm. They have their own weapon. They have their own identity. And all of that is going to tie together this next year when we start rolling out this cinematic universe along with what we're doing. And I'm not just out here to form a record label. I'm out here to form a fucking empire. Like, me and him have talked. Like, I want to have Sky Manor here. I want to have all of our boys up here with us, and I want the world to see us. And then at the same time, I want to create something so fucking dope that, hell, next thing you know, we have Netflix or Amazon reaching out, and they're like, fuck, we've never seen anything like that done before. Let's get a Netflix original, whether it be an animated film or whether it be us acting in it. Why not fucking present and shoot for the stars with that? Like that. I know MGK did it with one of his albums, his punk rock ones. He filmed like this kind of, it was almost like a journey through high school, and somebody, his girlfriend at the time dying, and it kind of did that same thing. And I saw that and I was like, holy fuck, that is wild. Like, I've never seen anything like that. So if we can take our nerdiness and spin that with that and bring that to life and actually make it look good, and we have the dope music to support it, I can promise you that Gilded Realm Records within the next, we'll say 3 to 5 years, is going to become probably, I will confidently say we will be standing with independent giants with our record label because of what our dream is, what our vision is, and the resources that we have at hand.
Well, I sure hope that that is something that we can all manifest for you, because that sounds freaking awesome. I really hope that that comes to fruition, and that somewhere down the line I could be part of it, even if I'm an extra in the background. I'm totally cool with that.
That will happen for sure.
So, I'm actually down to my last question. So, is there anything else that maybe we skipped out on that you guys want to just let us know about, or anything coming up, anything like that? This is your floor to drop any social medias or even give any shout outs, anything like that. This is all you. Just go for it.
I'm gonna talk about our solo shit and then tell the socials as well.
Yeah. So we're actually working on solo projects too. I basically have an entire EP
enough
ready to go. So that's my next phase, is pushing out my solo EP, and still retaining Sky Manor, of course, but you know what I'm saying, you gotta step out and kind of do your own thing too. So
Same with me. I am working on a solo project as well, and everyone has their own feels and stuff they want to do with music. Mine is going to be very kind of synthwave, more kind of softer, I guess R&B style mixed with rap. I've been delving in some singing, working with Wilk, working with Knowledge, kind of trying to figure out my voice. I've never sang before, kind of playing with it, and I want to kind of take the Weekend and Arian Shaw and Plaza style of kind of some more singing and kind of synth wavy type shit and mix it where it's a mixture of singing and then it goes into rap. And I feel like there's going to be a nice blend there where that hasn't really been done before. And Plex has got his solo shit. We've got our own logos that we even took it as far as getting custom fonts. We have copyrighted fonts for our own brands where we own everything on our solo projects, where when we roll this out, it's going to be a big deal. So be on the lookout for that. My solo album is called Pyre. It is Plex helped me come up with the name for that. It is kind of in the an ancient term for pretty much a sacrificial, pretty much a fire pit, and kind of some of the subjects I'm going to be talking on that album are going to be in regards to relationships with females, kind of some of the stuff that I've dealt with them, kind of dealing with the opposite sex when it comes to doing music and kind of how those interactions are, some loyalty stuff where it's kind of going to touch on some subjects along those lines. So there'll be a lot of very kind of an intimate side of me that people haven't seen before. And I know Plex is over here. He's fucking wilding out on his solo stuff. Like some of the shit I've heard on it is, yeah, we'll just say if you're a fan of chopping and fucking crazy melodies and shit like that, like this kid is about to drop a solo project that some of the elite spitters in the game are going to hear it and be like, okay, yeah, put some fucking respect on his name. That's all I'm saying, because this is about to his solo work right now is next level. I mean, I've heard the kid chop and I've heard the kid do some shit, but this is wild. Like,
yeah, I mean, I made the beats for every song on it too, so it's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, and other than that, I guess just you can find us Sky Manor everywhere, either Sky Manor Music, Sky Manor Official. You look up Sky Manor. The only thing blocking us right now is fucking Sky Manor Airport, wherever the hell you are. But give us a couple months,
Oh, shit.
year or so, and we're gonna overdo you in SEO, and you will bump down. But it's hard when it's a big airport. It's hard to compete. But you go look up Sky Manor, you're gonna find us. And other than that, just shout outs to our street team, shout outs to the locals that support us. I know there's a lot of quiet people out there that support us too that aren't very vocal. I'm learning this. And shout outs to everyone in the music industry we've worked with so far that has taught us. Two big ones that come to mind is X-Rated and ISO. Two individuals that we've kind of got some shit from that I do not take that lightly. I do not those are huge blessings in our lives that we have had the chance to kind of study those individuals. The ISO show allowed me to not only go to a dope show, but learn a lot about stage presence and stuff like that. And that is a huge part of being an artist. And then X as a whole, getting to talk to him about some stuff. He's taught me a lot from a business side. Kind of been able to chop it up with him on some just things in the industry and how to conduct yourself and how to act. And I appreciate him more than he knows. And just good things around the corner and a lot of things in life that we have to look forward to and dope projects that are coming out. So stay tuned in, tap in. If you don't know who we are, we're fucking Sky Manor and we're not going anywhere. Let's go.
All right. Awesome, you guys. So, my last question for you is, if you don't know, you may or you may not, you've caught a few episodes. Flex, I want you to go first just because you're the quiet one. What's your favorite dinosaur?
My favorite dinosaur, man, it's got to be a velociraptor. All day, every day.
I could see that with you.
All day,
I
every
could
day.
see that.
All right, how about you?
I gotta say T-Rex because I'm a big stumbling, bumbling fucking oaf, and it's one of those things where it's like you're respected. You're one of those people where it's I like T-Rexes because you hear them fucking roar or do whatever the fuck you want to call it, and everybody knows to get the fuck out the way, and it's cool as hell. And second close would be I don't even know. You're gonna know that fucking dinosaur that has it's real low to the ground, 4 legs on the ground, and it has the fucking almost turtle shell with the spikes around it and the club on the tail.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know the name of that one, but that dinosaur is fucking dope as hell.
So it's like a potato thing. It's either an ankylosaurus or an ankylosaurus.
Well, that Ankylosaurus is a fucking doposaurus. I've always loved that one too. That one is fucking cool as hell.
All right. Also, an easy way to say that if you're a nerd, like you guys claim you are, I don't know if you are into the Jurassic kind of thing at all, but there's a cartoon, and in the cartoon, that dinosaur, the ankylosaurus, is Bumpy.
Bumpy?
So
Huh.
in the future, that's a lot easier to say, and you'd be surprised how many people would be able to know exactly what dinosaur you're referring to by saying a Bumpy.
Dope.
Okay.
Dope.
Got it.
All right. But yeah, that does it for that's all the questions I have today. I want to
And before you
first
get
and
off,
foremost thank you guys so much for coming on the show
Yeah.
and taking time out of your busy schedule, especially just fresh off of a show and taking time to do this with me. So shout out to you guys. I appreciate you. Thank you guys for all that you do and for letting me and wifey be a part of your team because we love what you guys are doing and we love being a part of it, and we're more than happy to be a part of your guys' come up and help you guys achieve that goal. So thank you guys for letting us be a part of that.
Give yourself some flowers too. Your podcasts are dope. I really enjoy them. You are a hell of an interviewer. Give yourself a pat on the back. You do a really fucking awesome job, and this is a dope interview. I had a lot of fun, and you asked very good questions, and it isn't your standard run of the mill bullshit.
You killed it.
So good job to Madwack. And if you haven't been on this fucking podcast yet, what the fuck are you doing? Sign up.
Hell yeah. Thank you guys so much. And I just, before I let you go, I just want to let you know that I am absolutely 100% excited because I will also be seeing you guys at your show this June. So
let's go.
I will be meeting you guys again for that, and wifey, and we're bringing the whole rig out there. So I look forward to that. And I send every single one of my viewers off, and I feel like I am lowballing you guys with this. So instead of 1,000,000 streams on anything that you guys drop in the future, I'm going to just raise this sucker up through the roof. And I wish you guys over 1,000,000,000 streams on every single thing that you guys release and touch and do from here on out in the future.
Thank you so much.
Good luck to you in all of your endeavors. And one more time, thank you guys so much for being on the show.
Yeah, of course.
Thanks for having us. You're amazing.
Right on. Thank you guys so much. And one last thing, I almost forgot. You guys are more than welcome back on the show any freaking time. So if any time you guys got some big news you want to drop and you feel like you want someone to help you spread that news, just send me a DM and I would love to get you guys on here again in the future.
Perfect. We'd love to do it.
Yeah, we'll be back for sure.
Right on. Much love, you guys.
Yeah, take it easy.
All right, you guys. Once again, shout out to my guest. That is Plex and Prometheus of Sky Manor. Go look them up on all platforms, YouTube, you know what they are, all of them. Whatever you listen to, watch, stream, go follow Sky Manor. And if you like this episode, make sure to go sub the channel if you guys are watching from YouTube. That would be awesome. Drop a like, drop a comment on this stream, drop a comment on the YouTube channel. It helps boost the posts. It is not required, but it is absolutely appreciated that if you like this and want better quality and these stupid tech issues to go away, that you donate via SARS, or if you want to skip that process, you can always donate directly via Cash App, PayPal, all of those fun links, which can be found under my link tree in my bio. So much appreciated if you want to do that. And I think that's it, guys. Thank you for watching. Shout out Rob for tuning in. I seen you. Shout out to Wifey Sunray, Bree, Jeremy, Anita, let's see, Cameron J, thank you for tuning in. Andrea, anyone else that is in this chat or tuned in at any time that I may have missed, thank you for watching. Until next time, you guys, this is Hype as Fuck, and we love you. Peace out.